Good morning, Year 5s. For today's lesson, you will be needing a pencil. It is a two-part lesson, so it will take place over the next 2 weeks. And the final piece that we plan on creating by the end of the second week is a coloured pencil study of a sea urchin. Now, as I said, this is a two-part task, and in today's specific lesson, we'll be focusing on the artist Ernst Haeckel to see how he drew sea life, and we'll also be creating a pencil study of a sea urchin. To be successful this week, you'll be using those basic shapes to draw a sea urchin, and I'd also like to see you using your page well as using faint construction lines. And some of you will be adding detail and curved lines to your sea urchin in order to make your form appear 3D. And some of the keywords that you will find me using in today's lesson, you can see on the left hand side of the screen, are form. When we talk about form, we're referring to the shape or structure of the sea urchin. I'll also be using the word observe quite a lot, where I want you to look carefully at the original image. We'll be looking at the detail. We're thinking about precision and proportion and size. Now, who was Ernst Haeckel? Well, he was born in 1834 in Germany, and his work actually tells us a lot about him. He was a marine biologist and a zoologist, and he was fascinated by marine life as well as cells and microorganisms. Now, have a think. Do you already know about cells from science? What do you think about the size of cells? Exactly, they are very small. Now, in order to study these cells, he had to have an eye for detail, precision, and proportion and size. When you think back to 1834, there weren't other ways of recording what objects look like, so Ernst Haeckel used those skills, detail, precision and proportion and size, to draw various sea life, various microorganisms, so that he could transfer his knowledge and images to others. Now, on this page you'll see some of Ernst Haeckel's illustrations of sea life. I'm going to give you a minute or so just to jot down on a piece of paper, what do you think about his work? Do you like it or dislike it? What do you think he could improve? And how has he created these drawings so that they look so realistic? Fabulous. Now, I've also got some photographs for you to have a look at. On the right hand side of the screen, you will see some of Ernst Haeckel's illustrations of sea urchins, and on the left hand side of the page you will see some actual photographs of sea urchins. So once again, you can make a comparison between Ernst Haeckel's work and the actual real life sea urchins, and then we talk about the word again of his work being very realistic. Now, I've got some images on the page of some children's work, and I want you to think about their work in the terms of what Ernst Haeckel was very good at. He was very good at detail, precision, form, proportion and size. If you look at the illustrations on the page, what do you think about who was able to achieve that detail? Which one of the artists on the right used Ernst Haeckel's precision within their work? Who was able to make their sea urchins appear 3D? Who really thought about proportion and size? And this is how we can learn from the great masters. We can have a look at what they did really well and incorporate some of these elements within our own work. Now, I have graded the pieces that you saw on the previous page from highest to lowest using the skills which we have taken from Ernst Haeckel in order to support me with my gradings. So I looked at who used detail well, who used precision well, who really thought about form as well as proportion and size. And when I thought about form, I actually thought about how they used the lines on their urchins to make them appear 3D. Now, today I'm going to model for you how we go about drawing a sea urchin. As you can see, this is the actual image of a sea urchin that we'll be studying today. We're going to go back to looking at basic shapes and how we use those basic shapes within our drawing. So that is our starting point. In a minute, I'd like you to refer to the video clip that I'll be making and that you can look at as we work together on drawing our sea urchin using basic shapes.